Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? My afro gonna be flat on one side. That's a fact. So as soon as I do that, it's gonna be flat on one side. Um, I had to get on here today to talk about a lesson that has is really ingrained in me now. It's really, really, really ingrained. Like if I never really got this for myself, I got it now. Like the lesson is in. So I had to learn an important lesson about following your first mind, your first thought today. So I don't want to go into the whole story because I did a lot today to transmute the anger that I felt, because I couldn't be so angry at this person for doing what they did, in a sense, because I knew they was shady already on a certain level. You know what I'm saying? I knew they wasn't a person to speak up to how they really felt. I knew they wasn't a person to keep it all the way 100 with the people around them. Look, it's flat on one side already. My afro's soft. It's not a hard afro. It's just an afro. It's getting my Riley on. So, yeah. So a lot of people might not know, but I am part of the LGBTQ family. I am a bisexual woman. I'm actually more pansexual, but that's a whole nother conversation. But I've lately been wanting to have a girlfriend, have a special woman in my life, a special lady. And that desire has not been properly, I haven't really done the work, I guess you could say. Meaning I'm not really going out to meet new people. I'm not really putting myself out there. But I just want what I want, right? So there's a lady in my city, a woman in my city that I had some flirtations with, and we went on a couple of dates, I guess you could say, or whatever. But she's always spicy, sassy, catty, if you will. And I was trying to work with it. I'm not good with brat energy. I'm not one of those people who could deal with brat energy really well. So I was just doing my best to work with the energy flow, right? But it wasn't working out. I wasn't enjoying it. But on the guise of me wanting to follow up on this attraction that I'm having and being, I ain't gonna lie, desperate as hell for female attention. Being desperate got me there. Because when I first connected with her over a year ago, I knew it wasn't the right vibe. I knew she wasn't feeling me like that. Even though we have this attraction, seemingly, ain't nothing good coming out of it. You know what I'm saying? So she did some shady ass shit that was really shady. I had seen the behavior already before, but I was trying not to be judgmental or take it personally. And when I saw what I saw, it just pissed me off. It pissed me off so badly. Because I couldn't understand why you coming at me like that. I don't come at you like this. I don't send out passive-aggressive messages to you. I don't put you in uncomfortable situations. Why would you do that to me? And we've had what I consider at least some type of friendly, somewhat intimate conversation. Why would you handle me that way? I would never handle you that way. I would never do you that way, and I think you know that. But you did me like that. But then after I got out of my feelings, everyone, after I settled down, talked to a few good friends about it, ranted on Facebook about it, I realized it was kind of my fault. And it was my fault because I did not follow my first instinct with this person. I knew this was going to happen. I knew they could not have the levels of integrity that I need in my platonic friendships or even my romantic relationships. I knew she was not going to be able to hold that bag, as they say. I knew that. But in the vein of me being so desperate to have feminine energy around me and share flirtatious vibes with someone and engage in a little lustful behavior, I put myself in a situation I shouldn't have put myself in. Of course, I was not physically abused or mentally. I wasn't abused in any way. I was just mishandled. But I put myself in that position. So, and it could have been avoided had I just followed my first mind. My first mind said no. And that's an old lesson of mine, turning a no into a yes and a yes into a no. This was definitely a situation where I turned a no into a yes because I was feeling desperate. Point blank, period. Going for low-hanging fruit, meaning this person is not on the wave that I'm on. They not doing things the way I'm doing it. They're not interested or speaking or have a conversation for who I am and what I have going on. They're not on that level. I'm not going to say my level because that's bullshit, but we're not on the same frequency. We're not on the same conversation. We're not talking about the same things. We're not into the same things. As I told her point blank, we not compatible. And she's like, why are you saying that? Because we not compatible. We not. But me, again, feeling desperate, feeling like I want some female attention. And if I could get like a moment, you know, a little moment together of intimacy, physical intimacy, that would be great. But no, it wasn't great because I can't fucking deal with people who like drama and like to create mess. And, which means that sometimes I need to deal with myself, because this was a case where I created the drama by not listening to myself. And it cost me. It's, you know, it cost me a little bit of, how we say, peace. Just a tiny little piece. My peace wasn't disturbed too much, but I'm still learning how to process when I get angry or when I am disappointed or when I feel like someone's disrespecting me. Internally, I want them to die. Like, I just feel like they should just die. I want them to get run over by a car. I take it all the way to the extreme. And that's not cool. That's not cool. Or I'll be implosive in my anger, meaning I'll handle myself a certain way. I won't eat breakfast. I'll treat myself not well because I'm mad at this person. And I'm still learning how not to do that. So I vented today. I spoke my piece. I said what I had to say. And I blocked that person from contacting me on, you know, social media, on my phone. And I should have been done that, to be honest. I should have been done that shit. So what I want to say to everyone, don't be like me. Sometimes learn from my example. Learn from what I'm telling you. When you have a gut feeling about something or someone, follow it. Because when you ignore that, you open yourself up for attacks. You open yourself up for bullshit, drama, and who else? Who knows what else? You know what I'm saying? For some people, it could be like STDs or, you know, I mean, I ain't never had STD my whole life. Let me not go in the wood. All my 40 years. So what I'm saying to you is that, you know, follow your first mind, because there's a consequence when you don't, and it's usually not enjoyable. You know, so I had to get on here and talk about that because it affected me so deeply. Like, I was really angry. Like, I was angry. I was angry because I couldn't believe what she had pulled. And to some people, it might not seem like much. I mean, I'll tell you, there's someone, it's too messy. I don't even want to, meaning she tried to basically, she tagged me in a post with somebody who I do not have words with anymore. Me and that person don't get along. We don't talk anymore. Why would you tag me in a post next to someone whom I've expressed to you I don't have no dealings with? And she had did it with another post. And I was seeing that passive aggressive bullshit, and I was over it. I didn't want to deal with it. So I guess because I didn't want to deal with it and I let someone in who I should not have let in the first place, it came back to deal with me. I was angry. I'm sure they weren't angry. I'm sure they're still not angry. I'm sure they are unbothered and probably unaware of the bullshit that they, you know, created. But they didn't create it alone, because in order for them to create that, I had to participate. And I did participate by not being honest about, I don't really want to fuck with you. I don't really want to fuck with you. I don't trust you. I don't really think you're a kind person. I don't think you have good intentions. I didn't say none of that. And that's what I was thinking. And that's what I've been thinking. I wanted to say, I think you're toxic and I think you have some issues that you need to deal with. But I didn't say none of that because I felt like, who was I to judge, you know, and why would I have such an ill disposition? And I clearly am attracted to this person. But it's showing me that I still have some work to do, considering some of the things that I've endured and been a part of, you know. So me attracting certain types of energy, I have to be aware that some types of people might be attracted to me based on some of the traumas I have dealt with, some of my dispositions. I'm extremely kind with people. Like, I don't come at people like, oh, I don't meet people and have my face screwed up. Like, I'm not that kind of person. I meet people with a smile. I come across very open. I'm not as open as I seem, but I do understand that we're social creatures. I do understand that human beings need one another inherently. And I do understand that you get more honey, you get more bees with honey than you do vinegar. So I lead with kindness. But I'm learning that my kindness has value and everyone doesn't have to get it. And today was one of those times. It was a little bit medicine after getting sick, if you will. I mean, it definitely wasn't a prevention before cure type of deal. Because the prevention would have been for me never, ever, ever connecting with this person for no reason. Because I've seen what was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? But me trying to be like, no, don't think that way. That's negative. I think that the word negativity and negativity in itself gets such a bad rap. Like when you get that HIV test, you get any type of test that has to do with your health, you want that thing to be negative. You don't want it to be positive, right? You don't want a positive flu result. You don't want a positive the C word result. You don't want these positive results for certain things. So I think the same way there is harmony with the word positive and the negative, we need to have harmony within ourselves. Meaning it wouldn't have been negative for me to not deal with this person. It would have been necessary and it would have been good for me. It would have been healthy. But I'm still learning what emotional health looks like for me. And for a long time, I thought that meant just being kind to everyone, forgiving everyone, giving everyone a second and a third and a fourth chance. This is this individual's third chance having access to me. Third chance now. So that means the first time I knew the shit was fugazi, I still dealt with it. Second time, fugazi as fuck. And now I went back for a third shot. Like what? But I know I have a soft spot for women. I do. I have a soft spot for women, and it is what it is. But I think I'm having a soft spot for women as a form of projection. Meaning I want people to have a soft spot with me. I want people to treat me kindly and gently. I want people to handle me with care. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I have to set up with my boundaries and my standards and how I handle and treat myself. And the first step of that is following my first instinct, my first mind. And that's all any of us could really do to avoid being mishandled, mistreated, or abused. You see these red flags. You see these things that are going to be a problem later on. And you think, well, I want to make sure I'm there for this person, or I want to not judge. Sometimes judgment is necessary. Sometimes judgment is the thing you need to make the best decision. And I did not judge the situation carefully because I wanted to be intimate. I wanted to get what I wanted, which was just like a man. I was like, I want some woman. I want me a lady. And if she gonna flirt with me and give me some female attention, then I'm gonna take it. And I'm gonna give her some too, and she gonna take it. But this was not the person. It's funny, I did a card pull for myself right around the time I was flirting with her online, and the card pull said that I needed more confidence as it relates to women, dating women and meeting new women. And I could agree with that. After this situation, I can agree with that because someone who does things on purpose and with purpose and intentional, did not intentionally handle this situation. I kind of it wasn't even my desire, because if we were talking about my desire and what I want from a woman, I would have never chose this person. I wouldn't even have dealt with them at all. But I was being desperate. I was being extremely, it's not even thirsty. I was parched to deal with this level of bullshit. But I drank some water and I got myself together, and let this be a moment where you could look at my situation and be like, damn, what am I being thirsty about in life? What am I being desperate for, even though there are red flags and I know this situation is not good for me? There's no shame in walking away. There's no shame in cultivating what you actually want in your relationships and in yourself. Do not be afraid to sever and cut off ties with shit that does not serve you ultimately, or is not going to be good for you. Or that is currently, she was never good for me. It wasn't a good look. It wasn't a good vibe. And it was very confusing at times. And I had forgotten that lesson of when you hanging out with someone and chilling with them. If you get, sometimes it's not butterflies, it's anxiety. Meaning there's a lack of self-control in you dealing with this person. And I wasn't paying attention to my own system, my own body telling me I'm experiencing some type of anxiety. I feel a loss of control around this person of myself. And that's something to be noted when you're dealing with people. It's not always butterflies. Sometimes it's your whole alarm system going off. And in this situation, it was. And based on my past, I'm still healing. So sometimes things are not good for me, look really good for me. And I'm still learning that it's not always, the butterflies are not always butterflies. So again, I knew the situation was not good for me. I knew I should not be following it up, but I did based on being thirsty, meaning like a mirage, like being in the desert and being so thirsty that you just ate a whole handful of sand because you just knew it was water, but you knew it wasn't because you're already in the desert. So, lesson learned. I hope you all learn the same lesson from me. Learn it from me so you don't have to learn it yourself. Sometimes when you're dealing with certain people, listen to your body. If you start having a stomach bubble situation or you just feel kind of like giddy, and it might not be giddiness or butterflies, it may be you're out of whack. Someone is throwing you off balance. Their energy is not positive or healthy for you. It has a negative effect on your system. And if you listen to yourself, you'll know because yourself will tell you. Myself definitely told me and I ignored it. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. So when I was angry from seeing what I saw this morning, I had no one to blame but myself. I had to be accountable to ignoring my system's way of telling me no. I had to be accountable to falling a victim to my own base desires. I had to deal with the fact that maybe I'm not confident in the area of feeling adequate enough to attract a woman for me. A woman I could be for, you know. So it was a lot to take accountability for, so that way it could have lasting results. And so that the next time this situation happens, because it will happen, not with her because she blocked to the gods, but with somebody else possibly, I'm going to be more diligent. I'm going to be more focused on making sure I'm safe, making sure my core and my center is stable. So that way if I feel it's not, I know this is not a situation I need to be dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I wanted to share. I just wanted to take that full accountability and be transparent. And, you know, this is my online journal / blog, video blog space. And I have a lot of personal stories that I want to share with you all. And some of them will be in real time like this one. And some of them will be past lessons I learned. And it's good for me to process this way. This is a great way for me to process what I have endured, gone through, chosen, if you will. And I don't mind being transparent and sharing with other people so they can understand they're not alone in poor decision making sometimes. And, you know, because that's what it comes down to, making effective choices. I didn't make an effective choice for myself, someone who wants to have a healthy relationship with a woman, you know, an intimate, healthy relationship with a woman. I didn't make a great choice to do that. So making effective choices is something that you have to be diligent in, and you have to definitely follow your instinct. You have to definitely follow your first mind. So yeah, man, I ain't got much else. I just wanted to jump in and say that. And it's good because I had said I wanted to get on here and tell more personal stories, tell my business. And, you know, keep it in a way where people could learn. It's not about talking shit about someone else. It's more so about being transparent for the purposes of learning my lesson and processing what's happening, as well as hopefully someone else could learn from my example and they could avoid the bullshit altogether. That would be the best outcome, that what I'm saying impacts someone else in a positive way. So yeah, I'm Minister Stacy Gold, aka Oya Gold of Gold Energy Management, and I like sharing with you all. I like coming on this platform, YouTube, you know, and talking and just, you know, sharing what I got going on. It feels good. It's free therapy for me. And Yeah, so